Wow, it's been a minute. It's hard not to feel like the generic YouTuber. I've been away. It's been 2 weeks since I've uploaded a video. I needed time away. I needed some clarity. Whatever. It's been like 45 days. It really hasn't been that long, but I was uploading pretty regularly, like once a week, maybe every other week. And it was super good. Where do I start? I feel like I have a lot to say, and I think I'm just gonna wing it and go for it and make this video and then just keep doing it because that's what worked for me in the first place. So yeah, I just watched my first video that I put out in January of this year. I watched it this morning and it made me cry. Shocker. I'm wearing this exact same shirt and I'm in Finland. I'm in our apartment in Finland, the little white box apartment that we lived in. We called it the white box because it was white walls and white floors, and it was a little depressing. I think just reflecting back on that point in life is really weird to do because I'm in such a different space now, literally and figuratively and all of the things. It's this weird feeling of like so many things in life right now are infinitely better than they were when we were in Finland. But there's that missing piece in the back of my head every day, and it's like moments will pop into my head from our time living in Helsinki, and it feels like this breakup almost. Like it feels like a long lost lover that I let slip away. I have moments and memories that pop into my head of times and just literally just moments like crossing a street or looking at a building or eating at a cafe or making coffee in the morning or ice skating or whatever from Finland. And it makes me so emotional. It makes me so nostalgic and sad and happy and hopeful and disappointed. Yeah. In a lot of ways, life has kind of returned to the way it was before we moved to Finland. And I hate saying that because that was like my greatest fear, was to come back here and just slip right back into life in Nashville and not be changed. So it's kind of like we're doing a lot of the same things we were doing before. Like we bought a car and we have an apartment and we have bills and we have jobs and we go to those jobs and we don't like those jobs and we just want to be doing something more. And so it's really hard to have those memories of Finland pop up and be like, oh, that's what life was like. And now I'm here and I'm stuck in traffic in America. And I used to take the tram to go ice skating in the middle of winter when it was dark and dreamy and beautiful. And now it's just hot outside all the time. So there's a little bit of a discouraging feeling to day-to-day life right now. But I'm trying to keep myself cognitive and remember the things that matter to me in life. Because a lot of the things that I have in life right now were completely missing. And if not completely missing, were like very, very sparse in my life in Helsinki. And that's like getting to see people I know and seeing family. I haven't seen a ton of friends since being back. And the whole friendship friends has been really weird to navigate. I find that my friends that I made in Finland are like on my mind every day and I miss them and I wish that I could have stayed and developed a more deeper connection with them. But I know that can still be done online and it can still be done in the future too. So I'm not like discouraged about those friendships, but it has been really hard coming back to a place where I grew up and then not really feeling like I have very many friends. But I think the feeling of familiarity, being in restaurants and coffee shops and grocery stores and seeing people that I know and that I've known for, almost 20 years I think it's a comforting feeling. And that's been really nice. And just getting to see family and see my nieces and my brothers and my parents, I think that's been comforting in a lot of ways. I think being back has given me a little bit of a sense of purpose. Like, oh, there's people that love me. Hello, it's me editing. I just wanted to say, I realize it sounds like I'm saying that people in Finland didn't love me. That is not true. My friends loved me so much and cared for me when I was there. I think I just had a hard time being away from my community that I had grown up with in the town I grew up in here in America. Yeah, that's I think what I mean when I'm saying what I'm saying. Anyway, continue. So I've enjoyed that aspect and just the freedom to like have all my stuff back. There's a lot of pieces and furniture and art things and canvases and paints and all of the rest of my knitting needles and my yarn and my framed pictures on the wall that are just like artifacts that I didn't bring with me to Finland because I didn't have the room and I prioritized other things. So having a lot of those things back, even just the things hanging on the walls and my candle collection and all of my like pens and pencils and paintbrushes and like all of that I left, it was just waiting here for me. So the feeling of having a lot of that stuff back has given me a lot of purpose too. So I'm trying to focus on those things, the things that are part of me and make up who I am, make up my creative endeavors and creative expressions and things that are meaningful that have been a part of my life for a long time. It's really nice to have that stuff back. So in the midst of the longing for Finland and the longing for being in that space that I made my home over the course of the 10 months we were there, it's like a hole. It's like a hole in my heart, the shape of the country of Finland, which is just huge. But I think there was a hole in my heart when I was in Finland for all of these tiny little things and aspects and purposes in life that I didn't feel like I had when we were in Finland. I'm trying to approach life with a more well-rounded view and a well-rounded perspective, whereas when I was in America before we moved, I just felt a deficit, and when I was in Finland, I just felt a deficit. And here, I still feel the missing pieces of the life that I had before that I don't have anymore. And I feel the missing pieces of my life in Finland that I don't have anymore. And I'm trying to not let it drag me down because some days it does that. And some days it's really hard to miss the way things used to be, knowing that you'd have to move heaven and earth to get those things back. Yeah, that's depressing. To shift gears a bit, having a space again that's completely ours and it's not a sublease, it's not someone else's house, that is a really good feeling. So that's already like, a great foundation for the next phase of life. I think there's just a lot of freedom and agency in my life now that I think was always available, but it was a lot harder to access and a lot harder to see. And so I think in hindsight, I'm looking back and realizing like I could have done any of the things I'm doing now. Like I just would have had to try a little bit harder and I would have had to get a little bit more creative. But I think sometimes the things that we need to do in life sometimes they're handed to us and it can feel serendipitous, like it was meant to be. But sometimes you need to still do the same thing, but it might not be handed to you. It might be somewhere far away and you have to go get it. It doesn't mean that life is trying to prevent you from having it or that you're not good enough or you're not worthy enough to go have that thing you want. You just have to go do a little bit more work and change your mindset. And before you know it, like that thing could be right in front of you. But if you look at it and just see that it's far away and hard to get to, and you have roadblocks of physical things or like circumstances, or maybe it's just your head. Like my main roadblock in Finland, getting between me and happiness, was like my crippling, debilitating anxiety that I experienced every day that prevented me from leaving the house a lot of times. And I was really, really, really low in my head, and I didn't have a good appreciation for myself. I didn't view myself as important or good enough or qualified enough or artistic enough or pretty enough or any of the things you can think of. I was not an advocate for myself hardly at all. And, then strip away like the affirmation of being at a job, the affirmation of having friends in your life, and I just like slipped through the cracks really, really fast. So I think now that some things in my life are being quote unquote, that, they're being handed to me, like I'm not having to go out and fight for having the social aspect of having a job, because I have a job now and I go to it. And I'm not fighting for the connection with people around me because I've got family in town and I've got, the gear of the social aspect of my life is turning a lot more. And so those things are being handed to me, whereas in Finland they weren't at all, and I had to go out and get them. And then most days I just sat and pitied myself in my apartment because I didn't have them. And I'm trying to approach life again, like with a more well-rounded, informed point of view, because I don't want to repeat last year. As much as I would love to go back to Finland on our first day and start and redo the whole 10 months over again and do it way better. I don't want to repeat that. I want to move forward the best way I can here in Nashville and spend my time here. I don't want to say productively, because that sounds a little bit hustle culture-y, whatever. I don't mean productive in the sense that I want to get a lot done. I think I want to make the most of where I am. And I knew that I wasn't doing that when I lived here before Finland, which was a huge reason why I went. I wanted to take a chance and leave the country for the first time and see a new place and move to a new place and just throw myself in a blender and see what happened. So that was what drove me to seek that out. And then when I was in Finland, I just got really, really depressed and really low. And it wasn't because of the darkness. It was because I was going through a personal crisis, okay? I loved the darkness and I loved the cold, and it really didn't bother me very much at all. I think it maybe added a little bit to my pre-existing personal struggles, but most of it was because I just sent myself to a dark place mentally and didn't set myself up for success. So I want to set myself up for success here now, because a lot of the same things I disliked about living in Nashville are all still here. In fact, most of them are all still here. But I am different and I have a different perspective, and I want to live here with that different perspective in mind. It's weird, like, we've been back since July, August, September, October. Like, it's been 4 months. Yeah, like almost to the day. I think the 13th would be 4 months. It's been 4 months, and that's flown by. Like, I have moments in my day where I'm just doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm just have the thought of like, oh, I lived in another country for almost a year, and I was on a different continent, and everyone spoke a different language, and I didn't drive a car for 10 months, and it was snowy all the time, and oh my gosh, I'm back here in this place that I grew up, and what the heck? Like, I am a totally different person. Why am I not still in Finland? Why didn't I stay? What the heck am I doing? Like, yeah, I have that moment like at least 3 to 5 times a day. No, it's probably like once a day. So maybe like 7 to 10 times a week I have that thought. And it's been 4 months. I'm like, that is insane. That's almost half the amount of time that we were in Finland. And it's just like, everything is moving so fast, and I am, oh my gosh, being a person is so much work. My overarching goal of this video, and my re-return, if you will, to YouTube, I built this community of, I hit 1,000 subscribers. I have like 1,100, and that's so exciting. And I'm super, super, super worried that I'm going to continue making videos here in Nashville that are not going to be about Finland anymore because I'm not there. And I'm sure I'll talk about it, but like, that's not the point, or the main thing is not Finland anymore. And I'm really worried that I'm going to lose a lot of people that have followed me because I was an American living in Finland. And I think I will. Like, I have to be prepared for like the loss of a lot of people that don't really care because I'm not in Finland anymore. And that's totally fine. Like, people who know me personally will follow along. But I think internet friendships and relationships, like if you're following someone because they're doing something that you like, and then they're no longer doing something that you like anymore, that's totally fine. So if it's not your flavor of YouTube video, that's completely fine. And I don't need you. No, I mean, I want you, but I want to have the people that follow me really care about what I am doing. And so this is a little bit of a pivot and a change, and growth is going to be great. And I believe it's going to be good. And it's going to be possibly a rough process over the next couple weeks and months as I am creating content that is not the same as it has been for the entirety of this year. And that's okay. We'll be okay. I'm really excited to bring just a different perspective and bring a new season, if you will. If January until, 2 months ago was season 1, this is season 2, and it's still me. I'm still the same character, but I am in a new place, in a new city, in a new country, doing something different. And I hope that you will still find value in what I'm creating. I'm really excited because YouTube and creating videos, creating my vlogs and my videos when I was in Finland, and then for the first few months I was back in America, literally saved me so much. It became my social outlet. It became a form of affirmation for me. It became a form of like connecting and building community and interacting with people from all over the world that watched my videos and that commented and shared their opinions and their thoughts and their feelings. And it was just such a fun and wonderful part of my life while I started to forge that, first 8-ish months or whatever, of my YouTube channel. So I've taken a break, and I'm ready to hit the ground running and still do the same process of filming myself and sitting in the metaphorical editing room and cranking out a video each week or every other week that is meaningful to me and that helped me process through something. I really want to do that again. So I'm really excited. And then the second thing I think I'm excited for with this next season of my channel is I keep coming back to this thought that like anyone that's creating anything and putting it out there for the world, people do whatever they want. There are so many people that are putting things out there into the world that are just terrible. The art is terrible. The podcast is terrible. The outfit is terrible. Objectively, it might be bad to me, sure, but unobjectively, who's to say what's bad? Who's to say what anything is objectively bad or good? And people are just doing whatever they want. And so why am I not doing whatever I want? Why am I in my head thinking, oh, nobody's gonna care about that. Nobody's gonna like my post. So what? If I'm sharing from this place of like, oh, this is, I think, what'll look best, or this is what people are going to care about the most, and blah, 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 blah. It's just become way more clear to me how much freedom I have to do what I want. That's something that I think I've just told myself forever that I don't have. I don't have the freedom to do what I want. There's something in the way. There's something preventing me from doing whatever the thing is that I want to do. And maybe there's big, big, big things that I want to do that I actually can't do yet, but you have to simmer down the big goals. You have to simmer them down to something that you can do today, because if I want to be here and I'm here, I can't just jump all the way up, but I can start by doing this, and then tomorrow I can do this, and tomorrow I can do this, and before you know it, I'm doing the thing that I didn't think I could do. This is like such a basic concept of life and creative people and anything and building anything. I have forgotten it somehow. And I think there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way. I feel like there's so many people that need to hear this too. And so I think I just want to start creating from that place, that agency and confidence of just do whatever you want to do. Put whatever you want to put on the internet. Make whatever you want to make. Paint whatever you want to paint. I want to start just living in my own little bubble and my own little corner of the internet and just making whatever I want to make. Because to me, it's valuable. And I think in that authenticity along the way, I'm going to gather people that really, really care and really want to follow along with what I'm doing. Because it's benefiting them. And that's ultimately what I care about. Like, the reason I follow the people I follow online and the people I keep up with and the people I go back to is because they're benefiting my life. I want to start being that for other people. And I think I have just lived so long in a bubble of you're not good enough, you're not qualified, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no one's qualified. And I think that's the beauty of the internet. And that's the beauty of these platforms that we use as tools, is that everyone is invited. And that is awesome. So yeah, that's a little bit of an update. I'm sure there's like a million things I've missed, but I'm gonna just keep going. I want to make more vlogs, and I want to make vlogs in Nashville, and I want to obviously continue the conversation about my life post Finland, because it's a huge part of my brain. It's a huge part of my life up here. Almost 10 months ago in January, in my first vlog in Helsinki, I was wearing the same shirt and I was sitting at my windowsill and I was nervous and didn't think I was good enough and didn't think anybody would want to pay attention to me. I'm totally different, but I'm also the same person who is scared and who thinks that no one is going to pay attention to me, thinks that nobody's going to care, but like, who cares? I care. And that's what matters the most. I want to put things in my corner of the internet that matter to me and that are going to benefit me. And I think doing that in a really honest and authentic way is going to attract people that value that and that want to keep coming back for that. So I don't know what the next video is going to look like. It might be a vlog, or it'll probably be a vlog. I'm really passionate about creating things and creativity and the creative process, if you haven't gathered that by now. I think everyone can be an artist or can be someone who creates things. I'm really passionate too about people that are younger than me, and maybe not necessarily younger, maybe just younger in their creative element. Like, you could be 65 and just be getting into art, and this could be for you. I know I'm not the best at art or the greatest at painting or knitting or talking or writing or making YouTube videos. I'm not the best, and that's okay. If people can find value from what I'm putting out there, then that's gonna help me grow, and it's gonna help me be better at the things that I want to be better at. So yes, that is what I wanted to say. I think this just maybe starts the conversation a little bit more. I hope that people still follow along with me. I'm positive that I'll create new people along the way who are gonna like what I'm creating. So if that's you, please like and subscribe and comment what your thoughts are, and if this is something that you gain value from, and if you need sort of a creative pep talk type of vibe and an encouragement in being an artistic person or a creative person, something to help you realize you're not alone in feeling unqualified and there's more to be had for you in life. Yeah. That's how I feel. It's been fabulous talking to you again. It has enriched my life to be on YouTube. And so I'm really excited to contribute to this space again. So yeah, follow along and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye. America.